So the next topic which we are studying is kinematics in two dimensions. So last topic we studied about kinematics in one dimension. What is meant by kinematics in one dimension? So motion on ground and vertical motion. Both of them they come under kinematics in one dimension. Clear number? So that is so for vertical motion we have studied some sign conventions also. No? So always we have to use the sign conventions, otherwise it becomes tough to do the problems. So now we are doing kinematics in two dimension. This also you can call it as projectile motion also. Okay ma? So what is meant by projectile? Projectile means what ma? Any body thrown at an angle of other than 90 degrees, you can call it as a projectile. Clear? So body thrown at an angle, other than 90 degrees is called a projectile. Okay ma? So other than 90 degrees means what? It should be less than 90 and it can be greater than 90 also. It should not be 90, that's all. Then it is called as a projectile. Clear? For example, if I take this is the x-axis and this one is the y-axis. Clear ma? So consider a body is thrown like this with an initial velocity of u at an angle of theta. Clear? So with how much initial velocity we are throwing? We are throwing with an initial velocity of u. At what angle? At an angle of theta. Clear now? Then this body, definitely it cannot move in a straight line. No? If you throw a body like this, it cannot travel. No? How it will travel? So it will reach a particular maximum height, then it will touch the ground. So this is what will happen now. If you throw any stone like this, it will reach a maximum height, then again it will reach the ground. So this will be the path traced by this projectile. Clear? And this is what kind of path? This is called as a parabolic path. So we know the different shapes of parabola, circle, ellipse. So many shapes are there, no? So what is the shape traced by this body? Shape traced or path traced by this body is a projectile. And that projectile path is nothing but a parabolic path. Clear now? So therefore here I say this projectile traces what kind of path ma? It traces a parabolic path. Are you able to understand? It always traces a parabolic path. It means the shape of this path is a parabola. Clear ma? Now with what initial velocity we are throwing this body? We are throwing with an initial velocity of u, no? Clear number? So now if I take this u, the velocity with which I have thrown this body, if I take this u value, and with respect to what angle it is thrown, ma? It is thrown at an angle of theta with respect to horizontal. Clear? So this initial velocity, I can split into two components, no? Splitting we have studied in vectors, no? Splitting we studied in vectors, no? So whatever vector you split, that should be the resultant. Okay? And the components should be joined head to tail. Resultant should be head to head and tail to tail. And angle between the components should be 90 degrees. These are the rules of splitting, no? Okay. Now, how much angle it is making with respect to horizontal? With respect to horizontal, it is making an angle of theta. Clear? So therefore, this will become adjacent side or opposite side. What is this side? This one. So what is the formula for adjacent side? U cos theta, hypotenuse into cos theta. What is the formula of opposite side? U sin theta. Clear ma? So it means this velocity vector I have split into two components. Velocity along x-axis, velocity along y-axis. So how can you write then vector form? I can write u dash is equals to u cos theta I cap plus u sin theta j cap. Can I write like this? U cos theta I cap plus u sin theta j cap. Now can you say what is the meaning of this statement? What is meant by u cos theta I cap and what is meant by u sin theta j cap? So along x-axis, this body has how much velocity? U cos theta velocity. X-axis పైన ఎంత velocity ఉంది దానికి? It is having a velocity of u cos theta. And along y-axis, how much velocity it has? Along y-axis, it has a velocity of u sin theta. Clear number? It means this velocity vector, it has two velocities, u cos theta along x-axis, u sin theta along y-axis. Clear? If you add both of them, then I will get this total velocity, which is called as u. Okay? Now u cos theta, I will call it as ux. What is meant by ux? Velocity along x-axis. Okay, ma? Same body, it has two velocities. Along x-axis, it is traveling with this much velocity. Along y-axis, it is traveling with this much of velocity. So body is traveling in two dimensions now initially. Clear now? It is traveling along x-axis also. It is traveling along y-axis also. How it is able to travel along x-axis? X-axis paina ela travel chestundadi? Because it has velocity along x-axis. Clear now? వైవి స్ట్రీట్ పోయి మీరు ఏదన్నా సామాన్ ఎలా కొనుక్కుంటారు? మీ దగ్గర డబ్బు ఉంది కాబట్టి. సేమ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ హియర్ ఆల్సో. It is able to travel along x-axis because it has velocity along x-axis. Similarly, it is traveling along y-axis also. No? Actually, it is thrown from here, but it is traveling along y-axis also. No? It means it has velocity along y-axis. That is the reason why it is able to travel along both the axes, x-axis as well as y-axis. So this is my velocity along x-axis and this is my velocity along y-axis. Clear? Now if I study the velocity along x-axis, ux, which is equals to u cos theta, this I can call it as horizontal component of velocity. What can I call this one, ma? Horizontal component of velocity. This is horizontal component only, no? Clear, no? Total velocity is u. And what is its velocity along horizontal direction? U cos theta. So I am taking that velocity. Clear number? So therefore, u cos theta is in which direction? U cos theta is in this direction. Clear number? It means with the help of this velocity, body is traveling along which direction? It is traveling along x-axis with a velocity of u cos theta initial. And what is this velocity? This is the velocity when you have thrown the body. మీరు త్రో చేసినప్పుడే ఈ వెలాసిటీ u. Afterwards the velocity is going to change. Clear ma? Okay. Now see. So initial velocity along x-axis is u cos theta. It means displacement is also along x-axis only, no ma? With the help of this velocity, body will move in which direction? Body will move along x-axis. Clear no? So this is the displacement of body along which axis? Along x-axis. Clear? So displacement is in this direction, but gravitational force, it is acting in downwards direction. On this body, what is the direction of gravitational force? Gravitational force always acts towards the center of earth. Gravitational force eppudu ekkada act avutundi? Earth yokka center vaipu act avutundi. Ante kada? So therefore u cos theta is in this direction and gravitational force is in downwards direction. Clear nama? So what is the angle between both of them? Chapal twarga. Angle between both of them is 90 degrees. Are you able to understand? So therefore, what is the formula for work done, ma? Work done formula, Fs cos theta. Clear, no? So gravitational force Fg, displacement along x-axis is S, and what is the angle between both of them? Angle between both of them is 90, cos 90. Clear, no? And what is cos 90? 0. So therefore this total value will become 0. Clear now? And what is meant by this W? W ante? Work done by whom? No one. Ever chesina work radi? Work done by gravitational force. Gravitational force is applying force no here. So therefore gravitational force cannot do any work. That is the meaning of this one. Clear now? So gravitational force is not able to do any work. What is the meaning of this? If a force is not able to do any work, what is the meaning of that? ఒక ఫోర్సు వర్క్ ఏమీ చేయలేకపోతుందంటే దాని మీనింగ్ ఏమి? It means that that particular velocity of the body will never change. That is the meaning of it. Clear now? So work done is 0 nama. What is meant by work done is 0? Work done is 0 indicates that this force cannot do work on this velocity. Clear nama? So what is the meaning of that one? You write down here. So write down. So work done is 0 represents gravitational force cannot change the horizontal velocity. Okay ma? And what is this horizontal velocity ma? U cos theta. Are you able to understand? So therefore gravitational force is not doing any work on this horizontal component of velocity. It means that u cos theta of this body cannot be changed. U cos theta manamu change cheyalem. Arthamautundi kada? That's it. So it means that this u cos theta is always a constant. Its value will never change. Clear? So therefore I write that u cos theta is always a constant. Clear ma? So after that we will study about u sin theta. Okay. So what is the direction of u sin theta? U sin theta we can call it as uy, or you can call it as vertical component of velocity. Vertical component of velocity. Okay ma? So u sin theta is in which direction? U sin theta is in this direction no ma? This is the direction of u sin theta. Clear? Gravitational force is acting in which direction? Gravitational force is acting in downwards direction. So what is the angle between both of them? 180 degrees. That's all no? U cos theta is acting in force direction and gravitational force is acting in downwards direction. So angle between them is 180 degrees. Now here if I again write the equation of work done. So what is the formula of work done again? So it is Fs cos theta. Clear no? So F is nothing but a gravitational force, no? Displacement. Displacement is along y-axis, no? Clear, no? Because this velocity is along which direction? This velocity is along y-axis. So with the help of this velocity, body will move along y-axis. Clear, no? So therefore displacement is in this direction, but gravitational force is in downwards direction. So displacement multiplied by cos 180. Are you able to understand? So what is meant by cos 180? Cos 180 value? Minus 1. So therefore cos 180 is minus 1. So therefore I can write W is equals to minus Fg into S. Clear now? So therefore what is the meaning of minus Fg into S ma? It means work done is negative. What is meant by negative work done? నెగటివ్ వర్క్ డన్ అంటే అపోజ్ చేస్తుంది ఎవరిని? y-axis అపోజ్ చేస్తుంది. సో వర్క్ డన్ ఈస్ నెగటివ్ ఇండికేట్స్ దట్ సీమా దిస్ బాడీ ఈస్ ట్రయింగ్ టు మూవ్ ఇన్ y-axis, no? But we are applying force in opposite direction. So therefore what happens to the velocity of this body? Increases, remains the same, decreases. మీరు ఇటు వెళ్తున్నారయ్యా, వెనకల నుంచి ఒకటి పట్టుకొని లాగుతాడు, వెనక్కి ఏమవుతుంది? యువర్ వెలాసిటీ reduces. So similarly the velocity of initial velocity along y-axis is u sin theta, no? So this u sin theta is the velocity only along y-axis, only initially it is the velocity. So as the time passes continuously this velocity reduces. Okay ma? This is the velocity at which instant? Only when I am throwing the body. Clear ma? When I am throwing the body, velocity along x-axis is u cos theta and velocity along y-axis is u sin theta. Only at the time of throwing only this velocity is present. After some time, so as time passes, what happens to this velocity? This velocity continuously reduces. That is called as negative work done. Are you able to understand, ma? So therefore, here gravitational force is doing negative work. Okay, ma? Negative work indicates that clear, ma? The vertical component of velocity continuously decreases. Are you able to understand, ma? So it is no longer a constant, ma. So only at the point of the time of throwing only, its velocity is u sin theta. So after, as time passes, continuously that velocity reduces. So velocity will reduce up to which condition? Enthavariki velocity reduce avutundi? Until the body reaches the maximum height. This is the maximum height number. So from this position to this position, what happens to vertical velocity? Vertical velocity slowly reduces. And when it reaches the maximum height, there is no vertical velocity. Vertical velocity completely becomes 0. But what about horizontal velocity? Horizontal velocity is always a constant. Clear, number? This never changes. So in projectile motion, always we have to study about two motions. Motion along x-axis, motion along y-axis. So motion along x-axis is a different kind of velocity because this velocity will never change. Only this velocity changes continuously. Clear, no? So by the time it reaches the maximum height, what happens to u sin theta? Vertical velocity continuously reduces. Clear? And from here again what happens? Again it continuously increases also. Okay? Because after reaching the maximum height, still gravitational force is acting, no? So therefore with the help of that gravitational force, it starts increasing its velocity in downwards direction. Are you able to understand, ma? So out of two velocities, which one is a constant and which one is a variable? U cos theta is a constant. This velocity will never change. But what about u sin theta? This velocity continuously changes. Initially it decreases and after reaching the maximum height again it will increase also. Are you able to understand? Come on, make a note of 2 here. So therefore what I write? Therefore, clear, no? Therefore, u sin theta is not a constant. Okay, ma? Initially, vertical velocity. So all these points you should be very clear now. So if you miss any one point here, you are never going to understand what is happening. Clear? Then you start by hearting them. అర్థం కానప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారు? ఇంకా బై హార్ట్ చేస్తారు అన్నమాట. బై హార్ట్ చేసిన ఒకటి ఇంట్లో బోకులు దమ్ముకున్నా ఒకటి. అర్థమవుతుంది కదా? బోత్ ఆర్ వన్ అండ్ ద సేమ్. సో డోంట్ బై హార్ట్ ఎనీథింగ్. So initially vertical velocity decreases, clear, ma? And after reaching Hmax means maximum height. So vertical velocity again starts increasing. Are you able to understand, ma? So initially vertical velocity decreases up to maximum height. From here onwards again it will reduce. Are you able to understand? So therefore if I try to draw a graph between how velocity along x-axis and how velocity along y-axis changes, this is how I can draw the graph. Clear, no, ma? Let us see. So this is the projectile path. Clear, na? So this is the path actually in which body is traveling, and this is my initial velocity u. Clear? So initially at this point body has this much velocity along y-axis, uy. Uy means what? My initial velocity along y-axis. Initial velocity. When I have thrown the body, then I have thrown with this much velocity along y-axis. Clear now? And horizontal component of velocity, this is ux. Clear now? Okay. So therefore, if I take this point, it means body after reaching up to here, what happens to vertical velocity? Vertical velocity reduces. Clear now? So therefore, I have to represent this one by a smaller vector. This is Vy. Vy means what? Final velocity along y-axis after reaching this position. Okay? But what happens to ux? It remains constant because that is never going to change. No? Velocity along x-axis will never change. So therefore, this velocity remains to be ux. Okay? Next, for example, let us take this point. Clear now? After reaching up to here, Vy further reduces. Velocity along y-axis continuously reduces only now. So here bigger vector, a bit smaller vector, and here again a very small vector. But what about velocity along x-axis? Velocity along x-axis is always a constant. This remains to be ux. Okay. Then which is the maximum height? Let us consider this is the maximum height. Clear now? So here Vy is how much? Vy is almost, not almost, exactly it is 0. Clear now? And from what about velocity along x-axis? This is always a constant. Clear now? So in y direction, velocity along y-axis is continuously reducing. So it reaches the maximum height, and at the maximum height one velocity is 0. Which velocity is 0? Velocity along y-axis. Now can you say, if I take one more velocity here at the same height as that of this point. Clear now? Now what about Vy and not what about Vx? Vx is always a constant. So Vx and Ux both are same. What is meant by Ux? Initial velocity along x-axis. Vx, final velocity along x-axis. Initial velocity and final velocity both are same, no? They will never change. Clear now? Now if you take this point, clear now? So here Vy will be in opposite direction. So here what is the magnitude of Vy? Same magnitude will be here also. Clear now? But just the direction will be changing. Clear? And what about the Ux? This is always a constant. Clear now? Then if you take this height, this point is present somewhere here. Clear now? Now what is its height along y-axis? This much height is having no. So here also it will have same magnitude of velocity. Clear? So it will have this much velocity, Vy. But Ux always remains constant. Clear? And by the time particle reaches the ground, that is when it reaches this point, here what is the length of Vy? So this is the length of Vy. Okay, ma? But Ux always remains same. So this is how velocity changes in the case of projectile motion. Have you understood what is happening? So velocity along y-axis continuously reduces, becomes 0 at the maximum height. So therefore at the maximum height a projectile has how much velocity? Namaskaram. At maximum height, particle has which velocity? How much velocity? It has a velocity of only u cos theta. Velocity along x-axis is u cos theta, no? This velocity is always present. Which velocity has become 0? Velocity along y-axis has become 0. Clear, ma? So consider, so you and your brothers have gone to market. Clear, no, ma? So your brother is continuously spending money. So his amount of money varies continuously. You are not spending a single amount of money, rupee also. So your amount remains constant. Same concept here also. So by the time the particle reaches the maximum height, which velocity is 0? Velocity along y-axis is 0, that's it. But it has one more velocity, no? What is that velocity? Velocity along x-axis. U cos theta is always present, no? That is not changing. Are you able to understand? Okay. So therefore, now when it is returning back, again its velocity is increasing. Which velocity is increasing? Velocity along y-axis is increasing. Velocity along x-axis, it is remaining a constant. Okay. Now what about total velocity? Total velocity is the vector sum of velocity along x-axis and velocity along y-axis. No? What about total velocity? Can you say total velocity? What happens when it moves from here to here? Total velocity decreases. Why? Because one component of velocity is reducing, no? Vy is reducing, no? So total velocity also reduces. Clear? Now when it is returning back, when it is falling down, then which velocity is increasing? Velocity along y-axis is increasing. So total velocity also increases only. Are you able to understand now? That's it. So therefore, draw this graph. So therefore, what I say, Sima, if one velocity is in this direction and one velocity is in this direction, clear no? Vx. Vx means final velocity along x-axis, which is also ux also. Clear no? So then what is the net velocity? Net velocity will be this one, no? Total velocity will be v, no? Ma? This is which kind of addition? Parallelogram rule of addition. Two vectors are joined tail to tail. So this is the velocity along x-axis, this is the velocity along y-axis. Are you able to understand? If this is vy, this is also vy only, no? Parallelogram rule of addition. So therefore, here we are forming what kind of triangle? Right angle triangle. This is right angle triangle only, no? So therefore, what is my total velocity? Total velocity is equals to, use the Pythagoras theorem. Hypotenuse square is equals to first side square plus second side square. So I can write Vx square plus Vy square. So net velocity or total velocity, I can calculate like this. So V is equals to square root of Vx square plus Vy square. Clear number? So when it is moving from bottom to top, then what is happening to Vy? Vy is continuously reducing. So V also reduces. Total velocity also reduces. Now in the when it is traveling from maximum height to ground, then what is happening? Then Vy is increasing. So when Vy increases, total velocity also increases, because total velocity, this is the formula number, square root of Vx square plus Vy square. Have you understood up to here? That's it. Make a note. Okay, ma? So then we study about equations of motion. So in this kinematics, what are the equations of motion we can use? We will see. Clear now? See now, first of all, if I take along x-axis, okay, Sima, projectile motion is always a combination of two motions, motion along x-axis, motion along y-axis. For total motion, single equation you can never write. Always you have to study motion along x-axis separately, motion along y-axis separately. Separate gaane chadavali enduku? Because along x-axis it is behaving differently, along y-axis it is behaving. So equations of motion. See, along x-axis, body is traveling with what kind of motion? What is the type of motion? Uniform motion. Along x-axis motion is uniform. Why it is uniform? Because its velocity is not changing, no? So therefore, along x-axis motion is uniform motion. So therefore, it is what kind of motion? Uniform motion. Uniform motion means what? Velocity is a constant. Or you can say ux is equals to vx is equal to constant, which is equals to u cos theta in this condition. That's all, no? Initial velocity along x-axis is nothing but final velocity also, because both of them they are equal. And it is equal to u cos theta. Clear now? Okay. So therefore, when body is undergoing uniform motion, how many equations we have? 4. Only one equation. What is that one? Displacement is equals to velocity into time. This is the only equation which we have. Clear now? For uniform motion, always we study only one motion. So therefore, S, instead of S I can write X, because motion is along x-axis only, no? Instead of displacement, I will write motion along x-axis. Velocity, u cos theta. Initial velocity along x-axis is u cos theta. And after any time of t. Clear number? For example, if you write t is equal to 1 second, you will get the displacement of the body along x-axis after 1 second. You substitute t is equal to 4 seconds, you will get the position of the particle along x-axis after 4 seconds. Clear number? So this is the equation by which I can calculate the position of the body along x-axis. Clear number? Okay. Similarly, if I write the equations along y-axis, okay. So therefore I will write along y axis. Okay. So along y axis this is what kind of motion? Non-uniform motion. Why it is non-uniform motion? Because its velocity is continuously changing. Okay. And its velocity is changing because of which force? Gravitational force. Gravitational force provides how much acceleration? G acceleration. G is nothing but 9.8, or approximately we can call it as 10 meter per second square. Therefore, what are the equations I can write? So along y axis, motion is accelerated. Motion is accelerated. Okay, ma? Or I can call it as non-uniform. Non-uniform motion. Okay. And for non-uniform motion, how many equations? 4 equations. What are they? V is equals to u plus at. S is equals to ut plus half at square. V square minus u square is equals to 2as. Sn is equals to u plus a into n minus 1 by 2. These are the 4 equations which we can use for non-uniform motion. Understood, Dhamma? And here, what is meant by A? A is acceleration. Earth provides how much acceleration? So A value is always minus G. A value is always minus. Clear, Dhamma? And this is vertical motion, Dhamma? Motion along y-axis means what kind of motion? Vertical motion. In vertical motion, we have used sign conventions. No? In 1D motion, we studied sign conventions. No? So all those sign conventions you have to apply here also. Okay. So whatever sign conventions we have studied in one-dimensional motion, same sign conventions you should use in vertical motion of a projectile also, because this is vertical motion. Clear, Dhamma? So therefore, what I write here? All the sign conventions of vertical motion can be used. Fine. So this is about the equations which we use along x-axis and the equations which we use along y-axis. Clear, Nama? Now after that we will try to derive some parameters like time of flight, range of a projectile, maximum height reached by the projectile, clear, no? Velocity at any instant of time. So all of them we will try to do now. Clear?